Well, hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers. You're watching the CricketNext YouTube channel. My name is Kanav Bali, and we are here to talk about India versus Australia. Fourth test, day two. It's a Boxing Day test. Day one, well, more or less belonged to Team Australia. They were brilliant with the bat on day one, courtesy a 19-year-old debutant Sam Konstas scoring a good 60, a quick 60 in just 65 balls, hitting Jasprit Bumrah. And I know this sounds really weird if you have not seen day one. Just hearing that hitting Jasprit Bumrah all over the park in Test cricket, it is weird, but that's what Sam Konstas did with the bat in hand. Usman Khwaja also scored a handy 57. Manas Labuschagne, the man out of form, scoring 72 off 145 balls. Steve Smith is set right now. Travis had the biggest headache out on zero. Mitchell Marsh, Alex Carey couldn't do much. Steve Smith and Pat Cummins are batting right now. We have quite a few things to talk about, especially the incident that happened yesterday and how the Australian media has reacted to it. I have with me Harshit Bisht, and we are going to talk about day two of the fourth test. Good morning, Harshit. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Day one completely belonged to Team India, but I want to start with what happened yesterday. Sam Konstas, Virat Kohli got into physical altercation, something that many former cricketers didn't like, the fans didn't like. They wanted a certain action against Virat Kohli. ICC has fined him 20% of his match fee for that, and also handed him one demerit point. But the talking point today is how the Australian media has reacted to this incident, and this is the newspaper. The sport newspaper, the West Australian sport newspaper, Clown Kohli, they say. Your thoughts on this? Do you think this will spice things up now?
Yeah, obviously this is gonna spice things up, and Virat Kohli will be, charged up today because ultimately what happened yesterday was unfortunate. When I was not expecting that to anybody in the world was not expecting Virat Kohli to behave like the way he did yesterday, and as a result, you can see this clown Kohli on the front page of the Western Australian newspaper. I mean, this has spiced up the thing. I mean, Boxing Day test matches in Australia are always very spicy. I mean, in the last few years, because of the players' participation in the IPL, the friendly banters between the players, the India Australia spice up level has gone down
Yeah.
a bit. But now, after this act, I mean, the things will really gonna spice up, and Kohli will have a chance to, give it back to the Australian media and all over the world to, that he is still the boss. And I mean, we expect then Virat Kohli to score a big runs today. If he manages to do though, I mean, that will be a fitting reply to all these, all these media reports, all these media activities that are going around. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, this has really spiced up the thing, and it is gonna be an interesting day two of the Boxing Day test match today.
Yeah, but Harshit, how do you see this? I've seen social media now divided on this. There's a certain section who believes that, well, Virat Kohli deserved this. Media will do such sort of things if you do what you did on the field yesterday. But then there's the other section who says that media, as a media, there's a certain boundary. There are certain ethics that you don't cross. Now you are a journalist yourself. You have been covering the game for a long time. Is there's a boundary in media, we know there's a boundary. Do you think doing something like this, calling someone a clown Kohli with a photo up front on the front page, a red nose, and talking about Virat Kohli, is it within the ethics, is it within the rights of the media, or do you think they have overstepped their line here?
I mean, no, I'm not really surprised because I've been following sports for almost for more than 6 years now, and I've seen how media reacts to sports person around the globe. I mean, if you look at football, I mean, these things are very common. Australian media used to do that in the last few years. We have not seen that, but whenever Ashes takes place, they come up with such kind of things as well, and I'm not surprised that they have used Kohli for this. And this has happened to Kohli after what he did yesterday. I mean, before till that, the Australian media was praising Kohli. There were newspaper headlines. Kohli was making the headlines on the front page. Even Yashasvi Jaiswal was making headlines
Yeah.
in the build up to the BGT. So all this act has happened just because of the what has happened in yesterday, and that was an unfortunate thing. I mean, I would not say that the boundary line has been crossed or something like that, because we have seen this
Yeah.
kind of activities by the media around the globe in the past as well. So I'm
Yeah.
not really surprised, but yeah, definitely it has spiced things up a bit. And Virat Kohli, as we know, he gets motivated, gets charged by things like that. So if he is
Yeah.
getting charged with things like that, we can expect a very really spicy day two of the Boxing Day Test match, and then that and this can go either ways. It can go in favor of the Indian team as well, and can go in the favor of Australian team as well. Because if
Yeah.
if a Virat Kohli charge of Virat Kohli comes out in the middle today and scores big runs, it's gonna be very very helpful for the Indian team. On the other side, if Virat Kohli flops again, then Australian media will have a even more greater chance to play give a reply to the Indian team for the what he did. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, in any case, this this has spiced things a little, and I'm really gonna excited to see what's gonna unfold today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is something that the fans were hoping for. They wanted something of similar sorts, that Australian media or Australian players or Australian fans does something, and which triggers Virat Kohli, and then he goes into his old self, his old mode where he was obviously being poked, and then he used to come out and score centuries and answer with his bat, and that is what the fans were hoping. Well, now, as I've been reading on social media, they are hoping that maybe this is something, this newspaper clipping in Australian newspapers in the morning today, this will poke Virat Kohli, this will push him to do well with the bat in the fourth test. But as you said, it can go either ways, yeah. Obviously, being Virat Kohli, he can come out and score a century, you never know. But then it can also work in Australia's favor, because Virat Kohli is driven by ego right now. Would he want to touch that ball at the fifth stump? वही सवाल है कि runs मारने की भी अब वो होगी उनमें. Will he be able to show the patience? Because yesterday ahead of the match, he had a short interview with Ravi Shastri for Fox Cricket, where he said that I have not been patient. I have not stuck on the crease for a long period of time. I've been disappointed with my batting. So we'll have to wait and see कि अगर वो plan बना के आए भी थे कि I'll spend some more time, I'll leave some more balls, क्या ये जो इंसिडेंट है उसके बाद वो और ईगो ड्रिवन उनके शॉट्स आएंगे कि यार आई वांट टू स्कोर अ बाउंड्री, आई वांट टू स्कोर रन्स, आई वांट टू शो दैट आई कैन स्कोर रन्स, आई वांट टू आंसर द ऑस्ट्रेलियन मीडिया, द ऑस्ट्रेलियन फैंस. तो ये देखना बहुत 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 इंटरेस्टिंग होगा. बट एज ऑफ नाउ, दिस इज व्हाट इट इज, दिस इज द ऑस्ट्रेलियन न्यूज़पेपर्स इन द मॉर्निंग. वील हैव टू वेट एंड सी क्या होता है इसका रिएक्शन. But Harshit, now moving on to the main thing, that is, where do you think India stands in this match? Australia, as of now, they are 311 at the loss of 6 wickets. Steve Smith, Pat Cummins will resume batting. क्या है वो नंबर? कल हमने डिस्कस किया था, 250 का नंबर हमने डिस्कस किया था. दे हैव गॉन वेल बियॉन्ड 250 नाउ, 311. यहाँ से सबसे मिनिमम डैमेज के लिए क्या स्कोर है जिसके नीचे ऑस्ट्रेलिया को रोकना बहुत जरूरी है, जिसके ऊपर आपको लगता है मैच विल स्लिप अवे फ्रॉम इंडियाज हैंड्स?
No, I mean the match is still very much alive, and Australia, even though they managed to score 311 runs yesterday, Indian team needs to get them out of as low score as possible. I mean, because we know that Steve Smith can bat. Steve Smith can bat. I mean, he's the one of the best batters of present times, or all times as well. And Pat Cummins can bat. Mitchell Stark can bat. So Indian team needs to get up, get those early wickets and put Aussies back under pressure. Try to restrict them to as low a score as possible, and then the Indian batters, especially the openers, the number three, number four, needs to play long, bat long. I mean, if they are able to do that, the match will be very much alive. But in the last three Test matches, apart from the second innings of the Perth, Indian batters are not really able to score big runs. So that is something that a cause of concern for Team India. But let's hope Melbourne, new conditions, new batting, more batting friendly conditions. Indian batters stepped up, be it Jaiswal, be it Rohit, KL, Virat. I mean, all these are big names. They know how to play big knocks, big situations. They are known for situations like this, performing in situations like this. So we have to see that how Indian batters perform more than the Australian batters. More than restricting the Australian batters to a low score as well, low score. Indian batters needs to step up, and if they're able to do that, the match is very much alive. I mean, still there are 4 days left for this left to the Test match, and we have seen that matches this Test match, the Test series is changing into session by session. When yesterday the first session was completely dominated by the Aussies. In the second session, they scored only 65 runs, but in the third session, India bounced back and picked 4 wickets. So the Test match is going on a session by session. India needs to win sessions. I mean, let's not think about we have to then do the entire dominate. Then we at the end of the day we have to score this many runs. Just take hour by hour, session by session. And if Indian team manages to do that, it will be in a really good situation.
But before we come out to bat, we need to take those 4 wickets. And talking about the Indian bowling on day one, how impressed were you by the Indian bowling? Jasprit Bumrah, he started poorly. What Sam Konstas did to him, I don't think anybody of us were expecting ये होगा उनके साथ, but हुआ. Then he came back, he took wickets because he is Jasprit Bumrah. वो भी थोड़ा ego पे ले जाते हैं. He's arguably the best bowler in world cricket right now. But apart from him, if you talk about, I don't know if you should even talk about Mohammed Siraj. He has been horribly out of form. Akash, Ravindra, Jadeja, Nitish Kumar, Reddy, Washington, Sundar सबने विकेट लिए हैं. नीतीश कुमार रेड्डी ऑब्वियसली उनको छोड़ के और मोहम्मद सिराज को छोड़ के. अब सिराज जिस तरीके से आउट ऑफ फॉर्म चल रहे हैं, do you think India should start with Bumrah and Akashdeep? I'm asking this because India never does. They start with Siraj always. क्या आपको लगता है अब 4 विकेट्स है, एक स्टीव स्मिथ बचे हैं, उसके बाद you'll go into the Australian tail. उसके बाद ऑस्ट्रेलियन के जो टेल एंडर्स है, मिचेल स्टार्क, नेथन लायन, स्कॉट बोलैंड, हालांकि स्टार्क कैन बैट, बट डू यू थिंक वी शुड स्टार्ट विद बुमराह एंड आकाशदीप टुडे?
I mean, obviously, last over, कल का last over, आकाशदीप ने डाला था, तो बुमराह तो start करेंगे, and I
हाँ.
hope to see आकाशदीप bowling the first second over from the other end, and in the India, because yeah, आकाशदीप performed really well in comparison to Mohammad Siraj yesterday, and in fact, I was reading in the internet that some have even claimed that Akashdeep was the best Indian bowler yesterday. So I mean, it would be a wise decision to start with Bumrah and Akashdeep. And if Indian team can manage to get the better of this Steve Smith and Pat Cummins, India will be in a really good position. I'm seeing that Indian players are coming out, wearing black armbands in the memory of Indian Prime Minister.
Yeah,
Manmohan Singh was passed away last night. So I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of a day that Indian players will be charged up, and let's hope for a good day for the Indian cricket team.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, former India Prime Minister Manmohan Singh passed away last night. Condolences to his family, the CricketNext family. Sending prayers and love to his family, and may his soul rest in peace. But Indian team, as you said, with an arm band around their back, black band around their arm, they'll be charged up. They'll want to perform well. As you said, the Indian team is coming out. The match is about to start. Uh, Harshit, your expectations from the first session here? क्या लगता है? Will Australia be all out in this session?
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously. I mean, that should not be a question that will Australia get out. India needs to get Australia out for as early as possible. I mean, if they are able to do that in the first session, I mean, I'll be very happy. And then after that,
you know,
I know you why you're smiling because
yeah,
Mohammad Siraj is preparing to bowl the first over. I mean, that's really surprising because all of us were expecting Bumrah to take the charge, but that's Indian team for you. That's Indian team. They always pull out something that you don't expect. But yeah, I expect that Australian Indian team to dismiss Australia for as low score as possible in the first session, and then play a wicket list. The remaining overs that they get the chance to bat, they remain wicketless in that. And that's my expectations for the game.
I don't know. That just continues to baffle me. What is wrong with this Indian team? What is wrong with Rohit Sharma? Not over Akash. Either you want to change Bumrah's end, which I believe is a possibility. You want Bumrah to bowl from the other end, but still, maybe I hope it's just an over to Mohammad Siraj ताकि बुमराह का एंड चेंज करके आकाशदीप को इस एंड से लाया जाए. बट आई नो आई आस्क कि इस सेशन में ऑल आउट हो जाएंगे कि नहीं. बिफोर वी एंड दिस लाइव, एक क्वेश्चन जो मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ, विल ऑस्ट्रेलिया बैट अगेन टुडे?
No. I mean, इतना बुरा भी नहीं है यार Indian team. I mean, performance has not been that great, but Melbourne offers a better conditions to bat, and I mean, if Indian team gets all out today, I mean, then the series is over. I mean, then I don't have any expectations left with the Indian team. But let's hope that Indian dismiss Australia for as low a score as possible now, and do well with the bat today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the match has started. Thank you so much, Harshit, for connecting with us. Thank you so much to all our viewers. Hopefully, a good day for Team India. Firstly, with the ball in hand, and then with the bat in hand. And Virat Kohli gets to answer some of his critics for what you are seeing on your screen right now. This is something that the fans would be hoping for. Mohammed Siraj has started the day with the boundary of the bat of Pat Cummins. This is just I should end this live because I'm going into that angry mode again. Thank you so much, Harshit. Thank you so much to all our viewers. We'll see you at the lunch live. We'll talk about hopefully a good session for Team India. Until then, do enjoy the match.